think we are near the spot where the truck dropped us off. Okay, we're driving through RETRACING now, towards the border, and I think towards the church and the graveyard. We'll see in a minute if we're in the right place or not. Here's a church. Let's orientate ourselves. This doesn't look like it, does it?
No, the last time it was this proper square.
Now, when we arrived here in the truck, must have been about 30, maybe more, but at least 30 of us. The truck pulled up over there, somewhere in the corner, middle of the night, and we got off, and we were told to run across in pairs, only 2 at a time, to go this way. It wasn't so landscaped then, obviously, but to run across there, up the roadway and to the graveyard, as I said, and meet the guides there. The truck, yeah, we walked up here, and then the lights came on just as the last couple, 2 by 2, we ran over here. We stopped here by the church, and then we went into the cemetery, which is where we had to wait for our guides, and we waited in there, and then the 2 guys turned up to get us, and from there we set out that way towards the border. And the interesting thing is that once we were just about there, and just as the last couple were coming across here and running across up this little rise here, in pitch dark, and we're just about near those willow trees type things there. Suddenly somebody threw a switch somewhere, with the border guards, Russians, who knows what they were or who they were, and every light in the place came on. It was pitch dark, became like high noon, daytime. And obviously during this irregular intervals we're trying to see if they can catch some people, and they almost caught us, but we just made it. We headed up there first next to the church, then across to the graveyard. We met our guides, and from there we set off on foot. The whole group of us, before we went into the graveyard, as we came running from that direction, we went to the corner of the church, in that nook or cranny or whatever, the corner there, that's where we all got together, and then from there we ran in pairs across into the cemetery where we were to meet our guides. Now, this is a day's outing I've been planning for years. I wanted to do it. It's like sort of retracing the family steps, and at least I said it before, I think, but I'll say it again. This is one of the most interesting days of this 4.5 years that we've been over here now. I just wish Mum and Dad could have seen this, could have lived to see this little home movie. Never mind, they're probably watching somewhere. The interesting thing is that RETRACING, and around here, the houses, the church, everything is exactly as it was more than 50 years ago. Nothing changed, the houses are the same. It's exactly the same. Very, very, very interesting. And it's memorable sort of a day. It's from this graveyard that we came out, and we headed up in that direction. That was the border. That was the last Hungarian place name we saw. We all worked our way, came running across in pairs, of course, from the entrance to the cemetery there, and we just hid inside in the corner there behind the wall, and that's where our guides were waiting for us, who were supposed to take us across the border to Austria, except they abandoned us in the middle of nowhere. Now this is the road we came out of RETRACING when we started heading for the border. And if I turn around, if I can see daylight between Den and Maggie, then I can show you. That's the way we snuck out. So that we took that road out that way. And right, this is where we're going to attempt the Scott commemorative tour to retrace the steps that where it all began. November 23rd, 1956. We're in the small town of RETRACING, which is just on the border. This is where our truck delivered us and about 30 other people. And now we're heading up to where, as I remember, we met our guides in the cemetery next to the church, who took us to the border and then abandoned us in the middle of the night. Now we're going to try and find a place, get to the border and get across to the other side and see what it's like. Take a chance. Okay, so it's out this way somewhere. Yeah, from there we walked. Now, which way to go here? Right over there. It's looking at RETRACING. There's the church with the graveyard next to it where we met our guides. From there, we came out along this road, which was a memorable occasion for one very interesting. Okay, this is the railway station. And the theory is that we walk down there, or we drive down this way rather, we should be on the right track. Because the railway line behind the station here should cross the little river. And that should be right on the border. And runs across on the Austrian side right parallel to the border. And that might be what I vaguely remember from all those years ago, 51 years ago. Off the beaten track a little bit here. Well, we don't have a four-wheel drive, but it looks like a four-wheel drive, so we'll believe. Let's see where we get. Must say I'm glad we didn't walk all this way. Okay, we're gonna go in the opposite direction now to try down that little road there. We think this is in the general direction, so we're going to try going down that way. Luxury escapism. We didn't have a car. We didn't get all rugged up. We didn't have cameras with us. And torches. We didn't have Maggie searching through her bag desperately because she doesn't know where her gloves are.
No, I got them.
She's got them.
Wait, I'm going to tell you something.
Okay, now we have to go on foot because there are no more roads from here. Okay, we'll see what... She looks like a refugee, doesn't she?
The brightly coloured one.
Smiling.
Next time you're escaping, don't dress so bright because they will notice you. And then? Well, then is his Chelsea's car. Yeah. He's got a map, he's okay. He's alright. You? He's okay. Talk about bright.
Than the first.
We're still trudging along in a determined manner. And if our theory is right, we are getting close. If our theory is right, that's where that under passage is. It takes us under the bridge, under the railway line there, which should be a water course. And that's where it actually, within meters, it touches the border.